have it learn how to talk so you can communicate?
No. It knows payday. It's the only Pokemon that knows payday, and it produces gold coins. Yeah. So I would just farm a bunch of Meowths. I'd probably start a Meowth farm, actually.
So you're
and
gonna
then open up a
destroy
casino and...
your local economy is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
Lorissa, what would you do? Hello and welcome back to Shifting Tones, the podcast with shifting tones and nerdy formats. I hope I said that in the right order, but I did not. That's okay. So then we had nerdy tones and shifting formats. I literally wrote that down and I messed it up. I was like, let's make direct eye contact and be professional. But that's okay. Welcome back to a new week. We're so excited to have the podcast and have all of our listeners back listening with us. Yeah, we're going to just jump right into our little just catch up talk of the week, and then we will get into the meat of the episode. I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna be bold because whoa, because you know what? I'm the host this week. I'm Steph, and I'm the main host, and I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts, Sam and Lorissa.
Hi.
That's us.
That's you guys. But I will start first because I feel like I haven't started first in a while. With
you
these
haven't?
Little things.
No.
So I didn't do much over the last time we had a podcast, which is very typical. I say this all the time. I feel like when Sam, you recounted how a Spiffy Steffi catch-up time is, it's pretty accurate all the time. The only difference with this week is that we went and visited some friends over the weekend. We did not have a Shifting Tones meetup.
No,
sorry. Unfortunately, we were supposed to, but some people got sick. So I'm not gonna get into it.
Primarily you. What are you talking about?
We're both sick. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that unfortunately could not happen. So we missed out on another Shifting Tones meetup, but that's okay. But we went with some other friends. We had a really good time. We celebrated like this big event that they do annually, and it was really fun. There was a lot of people there, so it was a really good day for them. It's been cold lately, so that's not been fun. Even this morning, it snowed like 2 inches, and I was like, all right, cool.
All the way down in El Paso, Texas?
Right. So I had to still drive to school, which was fine. Like nothing was bad. So I'm not expecting any more snow days, unfortunately. But hey, I already got like 4 this year, which is more than usual. So I'm happy about
this year,
that.
This school year in general.
That's so exciting.
I'm pretty sure last school year we didn't have any. So hey, I'll take 4 this year. This is a big one that you guys don't know, but last Friday was Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
I heard about it.
Yeah, didn't do anything for it. The only thing that I did before we went up to visit our friends was I got a last-minute tattoo.
Really?
So another
goodness.
because it was a flash tattoo that they were
doing.
doing. Okay. So my artist was releasing a whole bunch of she had a whole bunch of sets and things, and I found one design that was my favorite flower, and I was like, I have to get it. So that was my first time ever getting a flash.
Okay.
I got it on the back of my arm. I'm wearing long sleeves, so you can't see it. So you guys will just have to see it another time. But yeah, so that's the most recent development. I was not planning on getting another tattoo so soon. Crazy. Because I literally got, what was it, Mob? I got my Mob tattoo a month ago. So I was like, oh my god, now another one. But I really like it. It turned out super cool.
That's awesome. Super cool. I love how you said you did nothing and then proceeds to explain this whole big event. You went down, visited friends for their big shindig, got a tattoo, but nothing.
Just not the normal things, but
Is it in color or black and gray?
Most of it's black and white. Well, just black ink, but there is some parts that color. Like the flower part itself is colored.
That's cool.
To describe it, it is like a Game Boy cartridge that has the flowers in the middle of it.
That's super cool.
It's really cool. I really like it, and it wasn't too expensive.
Okay.
For the flash, for the actual, she was doing them in black and white or just black ink, and that was, she was only charging $75 for them.
Oh wow!
And then she was like, "Ooh, it's pretty big. I could
the size of a Game Boy cartridge."
A little bit bigger. I could try and pull up my sleeve for visual viewers. It's not going to look great because I'm pulling up my sleeve, but it's a little bigger than I initially expected. She kind of talked me into it, and I'm totally fine with that now.
That's really cool.
Well, you can't really. Oh my gosh!
Oh, it's not working.
Not working great.
Whoa!
That's really fun.
Yeah, you can kind of see it. So YouTube viewers are having a grand old time.
Oh my gosh! If you're not downloading on
Mhm.
Spotify, playing it in the background, and then going and watching the video, what are you doing?
I know, what is
Yeah.
wrong with you? Are
So
those
it's healing up
Mhm.
now at this point. It's only been a couple days, but that was exciting. I wasn't expecting to get it, but that was a last minute thing where she posted the designs Thursday evening, and I was like, oh my
Wow.
god, my favorite
Go, go,
flowers
go.
Yeah, that's really
and
cool.
a nerdy thing, like the
Mhm.
Game Boy cartridge. I'm like, I have to get it. So
You sure do.
I was like, at first, I remember Thursday night, I was like, oh my god, where am I gonna put this tattoo?
Right.
Like, I have no
Right.
idea.
Mhm.
Like my leg,
Mhm.
like my side, I didn't know. I was like, my arm.
Forehead.
I'm like, forehead, exactly. I was like, well, maybe a neck tattoo. No, just
Mhm.
kidding. I would never. Maybe. Well, not yet. But I don't know actually. But I was like, you know what? I have some on my arms, but I don't have any on the back of my arms. So I was like, let's just do that. So it turned out really good, and it peeks out when you wear like a t-shirt. It like is the perfect size for
Right.
showing with t-shirts. So I'm really excited about that.
What kind of flower is it?
It's called a bleeding heart flower.
Oh, okay.
My grandma used to have them growing up. So if you haven't seen a bleeding heart flower, look it up. They literally look like hearts that are bleeding. Like they're so accurate to their name. So
No, absolutely.
yeah.
And that's what I was going to try and ask earlier. I'm like, oh my goodness, is that a bleeding heart? The second I saw
you
that
saw it?
design,
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, those
It
are really
is.
fun. Mm-hmm.
So that's all my news.
My favorite flower is 2 1/4 cup, and then 3/4 cup of brown sugar,
Sure.
3/4 cup of white sugar. I'm giving you the ingredients to make chocolate chip cookies.
You are.
Right now.
I
I see. Okay.
Big brain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go next, Larissa. I'm gonna let you finish it off today.
Okay.
So I'm going next. That's just what I do. I do that. Okay, I do that sometimes.
Sure.
It's what he does.
It's what I do. And you know what? I don't got small talk because I was sick all weekend.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, except for I did start watching Solo Leveling.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Have you seen that
Okay.
before?
I've heard of it, and I know it's really
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah, it's very
Even
popular.
so much that they're making a new game for it, like an actual video game.
Oh, cool.
That's really fun.
I saw that when it was like the Game Awards. They announced a solo leveling game.
Oh, yeah. It's to me, it's like every other isekai, kind of like
Mhm.
Sword Art Online kind of thing.
Mhm.
But it's not an isekai because he doesn't go into another world. The worlds come to him essentially.
So
he fights
reverse.
these dungeons. Yeah, reverse isekai. It's not a whole lot different than a lot of other things I've seen. The animation's really good, and the story's pretty decent. So it's exciting to see where it's going to go because I'm enjoying it. But I don't say it's like above and beyond anything else I've seen.
Okay.
So
Did you watch all of it? Like, are you fully caught up, or just
no?
started?
I'm 3/4 of the way, probably through season 1.
Okay.
Almost finished with season 1.
Because isn't
I mean,
season
obviously it
2
could change,
out?
and obviously, what's up?
Isn't there like a season 2 already?
Yeah, it's at least coming out right now, if not already completely out. I see it on Crunchyroll when it pops up. But we've been watching that, and Natsume's Book of Friends is the other one, which is a really good anime. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, here's what I got for you for my controversial corner 2025. I'm like waiting for like big 2025 graphics to come across the screen. I don't know if we can do that.
Maybe one day.
If that's
You'll
in our
have
budget.
to edit that in, I suppose.
Yeah, editor, get that in.
Well,
Okay.
we're working on it.
All right. Number 1. Woody from Toy Story was a right-wing dictator.
Absolutely.
Out. He
What?
was not elected to his position, okay? He had full control of all the toys in Andy's room and the military, all of those army toys, okay? He had full control over the communications. And then when Buzz showed up, a space refugee, Woody tried to kick him out, tried to kill him, tried to get him out of the toy room because that was Andy's room and Woody's room, and Woody controlled everything.
I feel like I haven't seen enough Toy Story, nor do I remember enough to like comment on this. I'm like, I don't know, it could be true.
Woody tried to strangle Buzz with his own bare hands.
He
So.
did.
Did he? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember if that's true.
No,
or not,
he did. I'm pretty sure.
I know
Or
he
at
tried
least-
to kill Buzz.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was like Buzz was falling out of the window, and he basically like thought about it for too long.
was that 1, 2, or 3, or 4, 5?
Yes.
One.
1.
Well, I guess all of them.
I think
Technically,
5 is coming out, or wait, did Toy Story 5 already come out?
I don't know. All
I know
I
there's
know
another
is
one coming
that
out.
there's too many.
Yeah.
I feel like I've only ever seen the first 2.
That's all
That's
you
all
need.
you need to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. All right, next. So I've been listening to a lot of different D&D podcasts lately because I really like the Adventure Zone. I think that's like top tier. It's hilarious.
Classic.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you like My Brother and Me. So they do the Adventure Zone. It's classic. It's hilarious. And I'll re-listen to it all the time because it's so funny.
Mhm.
I also like Dungeons and Daddies. I know it sounds silly. They always say not a BDSM podcast
Mhm.
because it's 4 dads that
Mhm.
are in the real world and they're at a soccer game with their kids, and then they get sent to like something happens, they get sent to the Forgotten Realms, and their kids are like missing, and they have to go find their kids. That's essentially the story. And then one called the Cast Party, where it's a group of actors on set, and
fun.
they're on like making a D&D movie, essentially, like
Okay.
a fantasy movie, and they say a spell and it actually transports them to the Forgotten Realms.
That's fun.
And so they're trying to get back home.
Are they actually actors, the role players?
Yeah, it's actually actual voice actors and real
That's
like
really
stage
fun.
actors.
That's cool.
So the quality's all good on them, and they're funny and they're really good. My problem is every D&D podcast I listen to, specifically the bad ones, there's always somebody that tries to do an accent, usually like a British, Scottish, or like Russian accent or some sort of accent, and it's always horrible. Don't do one.
No.
You can make funny voices, or maybe like have one side character do an accent, but to make your own character do an accent the entire time, I will turn it off.
Like the main one. Yeah.
I can't tell you how many I've tried to listen to where you see I've listened to like 3 minutes and I'm like, no, accent, I'm out. It could be the best podcast ever. I'm out. So, okay, number 3, I think it's really weird that people eat shrimp and lobster.
That's crazy.
That is crazy to me.
It's fish bugs. It's water bugs.
You're
They're
not
bugs.
wrong.
I mean,
They
they're
taste
giant bugs.
good.
Could you imagine if something like that was crawling on land? Okay, not in the ocean.
Sure.
And it was just this like armored beetle with all these legs and pincers. You wouldn't eat that.
No, I would. As long as you slather it with butter and garlic, I'm good to go.
Well, if it tasted just as good, I probably would eat it too.
Do you know what a stag beetle tastes like?
No.
No.
Why not?
No
Why
one's
not?
ever
It
served.
tastes like a land shrimp.
Who serves it?
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you? Why don't you?
There's not enough
Where
meat
am I
on
gonna
it.
find it?
There's probably plenty of meat on a stag beetle.
Well, I don't know.
People
There's
aren't eating stag beetles.
There's also plenty of countries that do eat bugs, and I'm sure they season
100%,
it.
100%.
So,
and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think it's weird that like we decided when we caught shrimp and lobster for the first time, we were like, that looks delicious.
well, it was
with
prison
some butter
food.
and garlic. What's up?
It was prison food initially because
It's true,
they
it was
thought of it
prison
as
food. It's
insects.
poor people food. Yeah. Now it's all changed up.
Yeah.
It's my controversial corner. That's it.
All right.
Take it away, Larissa.
Oh, yes. So, just like Sam, I did not do much over the weekend because, yes, we were both sick together. And I think this time it may or may not be a sinus infection because, listeners, I'm sure you're tired of listening to me being sick all the time. And don't worry, I am also sick of telling you that I'm sick. So, as soon as our insurance issues clear up, I'm getting all the tests taken so that I can become a fully healthy subject in society again.
Yeah, my job switch insurances and
like blood work, all that kind of fun stuff, making sure that there's enough iron, enough vitamins running around in my veins, that kind of fun thing.
Gotcha.
Larissa gets sick every 3 weeks.
Yeah,
like
so
she gets like a couple of weeks of healthiness and then she's sick for 3 weeks and then
That's crazy.
I mean, you know that just from doing the podcast, how many times it's like she couldn't make it,
Yeah.
That's crazy because, like, I work with kids and I'm not even sick all that much.
No.
Like, and kids are sometimes just so nasty. So
I get sick once a year.
You do.
So
yeah.
I mean,
you got yours one for the year, so don't get sick again.
At the beginning of the year, so I'm good. I won't get sick next year.
Yeah, you could count on me being sick at least 3 more times. So
at least, absolutely.
Yes. So yeah, I have a theory, and that's why I want to get all the tests done. That I may or may not have a deviated septum. Because a lot of my illnesses line up with like weather changes. So I'm like, I think it's sinus related. So I think there's something wrong with my nose.
I think you should get a septum piercing then. That would help.
I don't think so. I think that would be the opposite of what I would
Are those the things I've seen people have like the little magnets that they put to the side of their nose to open it so they can breathe better at night?
Maybe.
Have you seen that? Or am I crazy?
I have. I've seen. I know what you're talking about. Absolutely.
It like opens up your sinuses.
Nope. I'm calling you a liar. Doesn't exist. No such thing as magnets.
Yeah, and I have a sneaking suspicion that might be a strong case because I know I don't snore necessarily. I do snore every once in a while, especially when I'm sick. But
every once in a while?
It's not loud. It's not annoying where you can't fall asleep.
You're not the one sleeping next to you, so.
You told me you've had a problem with my snoring.
Oh, I don't have a problem with it. I hear it, though.
Okay, but is it loud so you can't sleep?
No.
Okay.
Not loud enough where I can't sleep, no.
Okay.
But yeah. I think everybody snores in some capacity.
Right, no, sure. But what I was trying to say is my father, he is such a loud snorer that if you fall asleep after him, it's extremely hard to fall asleep because he's so loud. So I think there's some sort of genetics going on where something's wrong with the nose and he needs to fix it too. I know you're listening, Dad. Go get a sleep test done and fix your nose because I need to fix mine too.
I don't know if it was Ryan or if it was Jacob, but when we were at your husband's bachelor party and we were in the cabin, one of them, I want to say it was Ryan, was so loud that I had to leave from that room and go to a completely other room to sleep because it was so loud.
Yep. Yeah, you guys are shaving years off of your life. Little did you know, if you're having sleep apnea of any kind, that's what snoring usually suggests, you're not getting enough sleep, so that means your body can't process the nutrients you're putting into your body correctly. So literally you're going to die sooner, so please get your sleep tested.
Wow. Versus like you will die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went on a deep dive recently, as you can tell.
If you haven't noticed already, viewers, listeners, you are lesser to us than our viewers.
That's crazy. No, our listeners were here first. How dare you be mean? Listeners, don't listen to him.
No.
Well, if you want to prove me wrong, just listen twice as much. Outvote the viewers, get more listens than views. I don't know. Anyways, I'm wearing something different. So I was, for the longest time, I was going to do the same flannel and t-shirt every time and just a different hat because I thought that'd be funny.
It was funny.
And then today I was lazy. So, but it is a different hat. It's going to be a different hat as much as possible. I have a lot of hats. So
you sure
I don't know if I have 52 hats, but
pretty close to at least 30, I would say.
Probably.
And room to get more.
Exactly.
Larissa, did you have anything to finish off your small talk? I know we kind of were deviating a little.
Like a septum?
Oh. Whoa.
No, I did have one little quick tidbit. I didn't do too much in terms of HGTV updates, but I've been looking for furniture pieces to replace a dresser that I have in my office just because I'm tired of fast furniture. And if you don't know what fast furniture means, it's the furniture version of fast fashion. And if you don't know what that means, you know how back in like the 1920s, 1800s, there was sweatshops in America and children and women were locked in buildings to slave over your clothes?
Yeah, those still exist.
Yeah, they still exist, but that's primarily being done in developing countries now. So that's where 90% of all your clothing's being made. So just think about that. So I just want to upgrade my furniture to real wood, but I can't afford the price of real wood. I don't know too many people who can. So I've been stalking Facebook Marketplace and I finally found something and I looked at it. It was up for 2 hours. Just 2 hours.
Yep.
And then what, gone?
Yes. So I sent a message being like, hey, I'm interested in this. What are the dimensions? I got a notification an hour later and I was like, oh, I'm excited. Pending. So those are my updates. I'm still stalking Facebook Marketplace to replace the dresser that I have in my room here, but we'll see if I ever get one.
Nice.
Found on Facebook Marketplace. Sorry, real quick. I know it's your episode. I apologize. These guys called Fat Man sculptures. It's just some local guys been making them. They're of like football players or different like athletes, and they're really poorly made and glazed. But they're like obtuse shaped statues, probably about this tall, and sometimes like their heads under their arm or like below their legs. Yeah, it's super goofy. I'm trying to buy some.
Funky little dudes.
Yeah, they're $45 though. Too much.
All right. I don't have a good transition, but we're going to transition into the meat, the chunk, the main topic of today's episode.
The main meat.
So we're going to do some hypotheticals, nerdy edition.
Okay.
We're going to do some imagine ifs, and you guys are going to be put into this scenario, and you guys need to tell me what would you do in this situation.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the first one. This one I figured was kind of easy to kind of dip our toes in. So imagine if you guys were transported into the world of Pokemon. What would you do?
Ooh, an isekai Pokemon.
Hunt 'em.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hunt them. Go buy a 22. No, just kidding.
No,
they don't have guns. Does Officer Jenny?
They do have guns in Pokemon because Pikachu got shot at in one of the early episodes.
Okay, so maybe that's a thing you could get.
I won't hunt them. No.
Sounds like you want to be Team Rocket.
What would you actually do if you right now somehow got teleported and you were thrown into the Pokemon world?
I would like to assume, depending on the price, I assume if a 10-year-old can afford Pokeballs, I can afford Pokeballs. I would probably try to capture like 5 or 6 of them.
Okay.
But more for like pet-esque type things.
Sure.
Like I wouldn't make them battle because I think Pokemon promotes like
dogfighting
essentially in the universe. But like I would want like a Charmander or a fire Pokemon, and then I just say Charmander because it's the first thing I think of. But a fire Pokemon of some kind to maybe heat my house.
Or light a cigarette. I know you're a heavy
light
smoker.
my cigarette, my Lucky
So
Strikes.
you would kind of collect the Pokemon to survive in the world first, or get established, or have Pokemon help you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I just got teleported there, I would get the ones like, okay, I don't know if water Pokemon produce fresh water. I don't know how that works. Seems weird. Maybe I'll get myself a milk tank, But
oh, no.
Oh my.
You think milk tank would produce dairy?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah. So I would get a water Pokemon, a fire Pokemon, and then maybe a Pokemon that could help me like lift heavy things, maybe chop some trees down to build something. Or
like a Pokemon with cut, the ability for cut.
Or specifically a Meowth, just to like
have it learn how to talk so you can communicate.
No. It knows Payday. It's the only Pokemon that knows Payday, and it produces gold coins. Yeah. So I would just farm a bunch of Meowths. I'd probably start a Meowth farm, actually.
So you're going to open up a casino and your local economy is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
Larissa, what would you do?
Well, it also sounds like Pokemon is missing out on this chance to make a cozy farming game, because that's what it sounds like Sam wants to do with this Pokemon. But yeah, I don't know what I would do. I would like to think that I wouldn't necessarily try to catch them all, like Ash Ketchum, obviously, is trying to do. I know, that's why he's named that. But I would feel like I would be like more of a scientific researcher, where I would be like, let's travel all these different regions and sketch the different Pokemon that I see in my little like portfolio.
Almost like you're working like for the Pokedex, like whatever.
Yeah, like
tech
one of the professors.
Yeah, the professors.
Poke industry.
Yeah, kind of like how Tarzan, colonialism aside, I like Jane, where she goes into the jungle and she like tries to like document all the birds and stuff she does.
Okay.
Like, sketching
things
with
out. One of them.
Yeah, well,
so kind of like a Nat Geo person, but for Pokemon.
Like what was his name from the Orange Isles season of Pokemon early on? Tracy was his name?
Sure.
Where he had the bandana and the longer hair.
Oh, he was friends with Brock, right?
Yeah, he took photos of the Pokemon and he would sketch them in his notebook and take information.
Was he friends with Brock or took Brock's place for a little bit?
He kind of filled Brock's place for a bit. I think he was friends with him, but I think realistically, besides like if I was just thrown in there to survive, that's what I would do. But if I was living in the Pokemon world, like I got there and I was like, okay,
you're established.
It's the regular world. Like I have an apartment, whatever, a house. I think I would get like 4 Pokemon just for friends. Like I would get something that can fly, so I can travel, like a bigger Pokemon, and then like just some like small buddy Pokemons, like the little cutie guys. Maybe a Phanpy, and let's see, Phanpy.
The only one that matters apparently.
The only one.
A Fido, and I'm just trying to think of another little Bonsley maybe. Those would be my little guys. Cute. Just hang out with them. Yeah.
Nice. All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Sure am.
Okay. Imagine if you woke up one day and found out your mind is now inside the body of Goku. What would you do?
Oh no.
Larissa, do you want to go first? Because Sam went first last time.
Yeah, so I have less context for this than Sam, because he's seen pretty much all of Dragon Ball Z. I mean, all of the series altogether too. The only one you're missing out on is the new one, Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah.
So from what I know from the Android saga, Goku's he's got big main character syndrome problem, where there's not much going on for him. Like he's not super smart. He's pretty average in every other aspect other than his strength. So
he's goofy.
He is goofy, and he has a cute wife. I'll give him that. I don't know if he knows how to have any sort of relationship with her, because it seems like he abandons her constantly.
Sure, he doesn't know what kissing is technically, according to canon.
But you woke up and your mind is now in his body.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
You know what? I'm gonna take Chi-Chi out on a date because she deserves it. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm gonna treat her right.
Exactly. She wants me to drive her around. She forced me to get a driver's license. You know what? Let's take a road trip out to the Grand Tetons. Okay,
that's awesome.
Chi-Chi.
I'm gonna do the one thing Goku didn't do, is love his wife.
Wait, that's crazy. Okay, Sam, what would you do?
Well, first I would fly. I think just instantly, like, I want to know what it's like to fly. I would fly. And then I would probably just try to do things that he does. Like, I would try to go Super Saiyan to see what that felt like. Try the instant transmission where he can teleport, I mean, flying would probably be the most fun thing to do. Like, I would obviously want to shoot like energy blasts out of my hands just to try that
throw
out.
like a Kamehameha.
Kamehameha, yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The only thing, also, I know from Dragon Ball, does Goku do it too? Like the fusion, like thing? Okay.
So there's two different types of fusion. There's the fusion dance, and then there's the earrings.
Okay. Earrings?
Yeah, so you have the Kai, I can't remember what they're called specifically, but the Supreme Kai give him earrings that if you wear one on one ear and the person you want to fuse with wears one on their ear.
Oh, like cute friendship bracelets.
Yeah, essentially.
So cute.
Fusible earrings.
So the earrings, technically, I think they say are more powerful than the dance.
The dance looks awesome.
The dance is cool. And a few characters have done it, you know. So when he wears the earrings, he becomes, with Vegeta, he becomes Vegito. And then when he does the dance, he becomes Gogeta. Gogeta's much cooler and actually surpasses Vegito as far as power levels go through the anime.
Sure.
Is it over 9,000?
It's over 9,000, absolutely. But Vegito is technically, if they were to do the same power level upgrades, would be stronger.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like I said, probably just fly around, go to different places. Like, oh, I want to go to France for dinner. Yeah, I'd be there in a second, literal second.
Yeah. So, see, I think you're also still neglecting Chi-Chi. So that's what men do for you, you know?
No, I would take Chi-Chi to France with me.
Okay, you didn't say that though.
I assume. Yeah, I'll take the family to France and to Japan. Well, no, they're already in Japan. To America, we'd go check out.
There you go.
Idaho and
the Rocky
Missouri,
Mountains.
the big ones. North Dakota, you know,
you gotta do a family trip to Yellowstone.
Absolutely.
Yellowstone, absolutely. Make a geyser explode just with my hands, maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be fun.
All
right, we're gonna move on to the next scenario.
Oh wait. No, sorry. I would absolutely. Sorry, I would milk it too. By the way, I would like enter strength competitions, like World's Strongest Man, and just like make money, just being strong. Who's gonna stop me? I would do the Olympics. Name a sport. I'm gonna do it. You can't stop me.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you'd be like drug tested as Goku. I feel like they'd be like, "What is happening? We've never seen records broken like this."
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. Next scenario. Imagine if you were to become famous for being one of the best cosplayers.
Ooh.
What would you do?
For being famous, or what cosplay would I do?
You're the best, like one of the best cosplayers in the world. Well, so imagine you're so good you became famous for being one. What would you do?
I assume if I'm already the best cosplayer, it's because I have the skill to do it and to make good stuff. I don't know if I would already have established a social media following, but I would probably try to start a podcast or YouTube channel or something like that, gaining money that way. But also it'd just be cool if like I'm already making money just as the best cosplayer to just travel around the country and go to the different conventions and stuff, or travel around the world to go to different conventions. That would be awesome. I would definitely I would hope the fame wouldn't get to my head, and I would like want to take photos with people and sign things and give people tips and tricks and maybe be a judge at competitions and stuff like that. Definitely try to make money off of it. I mean, if I can, because I'm the best in the world. So,
Lorissa, what would you do?
That's a tough question to follow up after Sam's response, because I feel like I would do something very similar. I think that's the natural thing to want to do. But I feel like I would take it one step further, because cosplay, especially females cosplayers, there's a connotation that like, oh, your next step is OnlyFans, because usually, right?
That's the next step. That's it.
I mean, I guess, yeah, for some people it is, I suppose.
Exactly. So I feel like I would kind of want to, not that there's anything bad with that. Like if that's your jig and you're making money off of that, have at it. I don't care. You're enjoying yourself. As long as you're an adult and the people following you are adults, fine. Do whatever you want. But I feel like we could elevate it from there and make it a lot more normalized and take it into more of an art form. Maybe find a way to incorporate it with like a fashion designer. I know there's a lot of lately big collabs with like studios. Like I know Studio Ghibli did one with one of the famous fashion designers where they made like a sweater with like Howl on it, like embroidered in like some sweaters and stuff. I feel like I would try to do that, like more collaborations with bigger fashion houses.
Okay.
That's a smart idea. Yeah, I think trying to get brand deals would be smart, because I think it'd be fun to like, hey, yeah, I work with Nintendo, or I do brand deals for, I don't know, for some tech industry or something that could be utilized with a cosplay a video game. Like, hey, I'll cosplay your main character, but I also get a free copy of the video game and
That's fair.
$20,000.
Right, absolutely.
So, like, promote it and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes sense. All right, ready for the next one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You betcha.
Imagine if you were stuck on a deserted island with the big three. Naruto, Ichigo, Luffy. Those are the big three if people did not know. What would you do?
Oh boy. Well, Luffy's high school age, we're assuming, right?
He's 17 when he first starts, and then there's a 2-year time skip.
Okay, so Luffy's the only adult here.
Well, Boruto Naruto is like 20.
No, but we're talking about like
peak.
Like 16-year-old Naruto, 19-year-old Luffy, and then I don't know how Ichigo's in high school, yeah?
17, yeah.
He's about 17. So that age group of the big three then. What would you do? You're stuck on a deserted island with them.
I mean, I feel like I have to learn swordplay, right? Like, they have all these cool sword techniques. I mean, the only one I really care about is Ichigo, let's be real.
I was gonna say, you're only gonna be training with Ichigo.
Ichigo's the only one with a sword. What are you talking about?
I guess, like, I'm thinking of the kunai, too. Naruto's gotta have some sort of training in order to how to, like, throw those. So those are, like, knives. It's closely resembles swords. I'm sure Luffy's got some sort of swashbuckling skills. Nothing? Absolutely nothing? Okay.
There's literally an arc. This is not spoilers, but he picks up a sword and he literally just holds it and punches while holding the sword.
That's really good.
Oh,
so no, I would say none, unless he joins in on your training as well for sword.
So other than that, training, because I've always wanted to learn how to use a sword. One, I have terrible arm strength, so I would need to work on that first.
Okay. And they'd be able to help you with that.
They would, absolutely. And 2, sharp things scare me. So that's why I've never picked it up.
So getting over your fear.
But other than that, I probably would just ask them to tell me a bunch of stories because, I mean, that's what their animes are, is basically them telling them their story, so.
That's true. You'd always be entertained then on the deserted island.
Absolutely.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Sam, what would you do?
I would leave the island. Not because I don't want to be with them, but if I'm stuck on a deserted island, I assume my goal is to get home. Luffy has the abilities of like Mr. Fantastic and Plastic Man, right? He can shape his body into different things, like his entire body.
Yeah.
And can stretch it thin.
It's like rubber. He's a rubber man.
Right, so he can stretch it thin and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to make a giant wind sail, essentially.
Out of Luffy?
And stretch his arms. No, hold on.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have Ichigo hold on to like his arms and legs where they connect.
Okay.
So he's a giant parachute, essentially.
I was about to say, but be careful, because Luffy, if he falls in the ocean, he can't stretch anymore.
I know. Okay. I thought about it as boat form first.
Yeah.
No. He's a giant parachute, essentially something that catches wind. I don't know. We could probably figure out what the best design is if we're on a desert island.
So
Ichigo holds onto his legs. I'm holding onto Ichigo's legs. And then Naruto is standing on a Luffy platform he's going to build with his like stomach. I don't know. He can just do a shape, right?
But Luffy can't touch the water.
I know. No, we're flying. Because
you can't fly continually.
I'm flying. I thought you were like sailing. I thought maybe shadow clones of Naruto.
Where are you getting this wind from?
From Naruto. So he's gonna do a wind shuriken.
Oh, okay.
So he can spin it really fast, and I think if we get enough clones, we can spin it and get enough air, circulating, and we can just fly away.
That's fair.
That's pretty cool.
Ichigo's useless in this, by the way. So
he's just the support beam.
Pretty much, yeah.
He's guiding. There's someone has to pilot that thing.
I suppose, yeah. Yeah, I'm using all of them essentially.
But I do like your plan. Abilities. But I think a better one would just be have Naruto turn into Kuruma, or Kuruma comes like physical, and so they could just all ride on top of him and he swims to safety. The giant fox god.
Do we know if he could swim? I don't know if that's like been tested or not.
What are we doing here? No, this is easy.
Okay.
Naruto does shadow clones. Is there a limit to his shadow clones?
I don't think so.
He can make up to like thousands.
Thousands. Okay. He makes thousands. He's a ninja. He can walk on water.
That's true.
He can.
We just essentially climb Naruto's all the way home.
Yeah. He just carries y'all.
He just keeps handing us over because he's extremely strong. He can lift all of us.
Right.
And each one over at a time. And then once the clone behind him's gone, you get that energy back. You can make another clone in front. I mean, you could essentially perpetual clone machine.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
Until he runs out of energy, but he's got a lot.
So Larissa's staying and training on the island. Sam's like, get me out of here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, our next scenario. Imagine if you were forced to spend a full day having a beach episode with the Avengers cast. What would you do?
Oh, I think it's going to be a good time. I think, first of all, a lot of them have money. Okay.
It's true.
That's fair.
Especially Iron Man. He's a billionaire. So he's going to provide
everything.
Grill. He's going to provide all like the blankets and umbrellas and
music.
Food and music and games and stuff like that. And we're going to play cornhole and volleyball. And I assume they're going to have some sort of tech to do some cool surfing stuff. I'm just imagining like Hulk, but specifically Bruce Banner Hulk, where he's like chill. Playing some
like
volleyball
human,
with
like
him.
his human form.
Yeah.
Or like Hulk form.
No,
just
his
chill.
like mixed form.
I
think technically it's like Doctor or Professor Hulk is the
where they
technical term.
fuse.
Where he's fused, where he's got the mind of Bruce and the body of the Hulk. He's a little bit smaller, but same thing. I want like Hulk to like throw me like high up, not enough to where I break my bones if I hit the water, but like a big cannonball.
Sure.
So like just a big toss in the water.
Yeah. Play some games, and then I think make sure Iron Man flies me around a bit, or whoever can fly at the time. I don't know which Avengers are there, which ones are dead, but I think it'd be really fun. And ask for some tech, just some free tech from them.
Nice. All right, that sounds like a fun day. Larissa, what would you do?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like I'm partying it up too. Absolutely. I'm trying to think of a way to make it a little bit more unique than Sam's answer there. I feel like you have to incorporate their superpowers more other than just taking advantage of Iron Man's money. like I feel like I hate flying. I hate the idea of like not being tethered to something like an airplane when I'm in the air. So asking like Captain America to take me flying would be horrifying to me. But I'm trying to think of something that's similar.
Captain America cannot fly.
Okay, I was like,
he can jump up really tall. Like he can kind of like soar, kind of like a flying squirrel almost.
He cannot do that. New Captain America can.
Okay.
So it depends on which Captain America you're talking about.
When I came up with this, I was thinking just like the first Avengers movie.
Steve Rogers. Okay, like... the first Avengers movie?
Yes, that's what I was thinking in my head.
All right, well then in that case, sorry, Hulk's not invited. Well, Bruce can be there, but he's just Bruce. He's just vibing.
He can still try and throw you in the water. That's fine.
That'd be fun. See if Bruce can do it. Yeah. Hawkeye. I think it'd be fun to have like a arrow contest with Hawkeye. Like,
absolutely.
I'm a little scared of what's her face.
Black Widow.
She's a little scary because she's an assassin.
Yeah. Well.
But all the other ones are chill.
But it's a beach episode. It's supposed to be a good time. You're supposed to take a break from your normal activities, and for them, it's killing, protecting people. So
true. I hope it's a vibe. I hope it's a good time.
Yeah.
All right, Larissa, what about the rest of yours?
So I feel like I would really, really take advantage of this because in all good shoujo beach episodes, there's always an episode where they're getting ready together. So you got to get glammed up. And I feel like Black Widow would be able to give me the down low and all the makeup tricks and like transform my face. I think that'd be really fun.
Okay, so like pre-bonding time before the actual episode on the beach. Yeah, that does happen.
If I get ready with the boys, I'm going to feel super self-conscious, let me tell you. Super soldier, billionaire.
It's fair.
It's going to be rough, yeah.
Anything else, or just a fun get-ready time?
Just a fun party, that's what we're here for. Because I feel like for the original Avengers, Black Widow's the only girly, right?
Yeah,
in the original.
Pretty much.
Oh, I would ask Iron Man if I could wear his suit, I think. Or at least the arms and the shoes to like fly. I don't care about the rest of it. But I think that'd be really cool, just fly around on the beach, go in the water, whatever.
Still be horrifying to me, but I agree.
I would also have Thor generate a storm-looking sky so nobody else comes.
Oh, that's like away from, and have a private little beach.
Yeah, like, it's lightning on the beach. We're not going to the beach today.
Oh boy.
I like it.
Yeah, that's what I got.
We just have a couple more we're going to do.
Okay.
So, our next scenario. Imagine if you found yourself able to use the same powers as Kirby. What would you do?
All
right, Larissa, you start first.
Okay, absolutely. And so, listeners, if you don't know, Kirby's ability is pretty much he can suck anything into his mouth and then transform whatever abilities from what he sucked into and use that for battle. Is that a good summary?
And then he can also just turn into a brick sometimes and a spiky ball. Like, he doesn't need... to suck up anything to do that?
I just love the idea because I think in the last big Kirby game, the big advertisement is him just sucking up a car, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I just want to do that. I don't know why.
You want to turn into a car?
Yeah.
Which type
Carby?
of car? Carby?
Get
Ooh.
What car would I
Carby.
choose though? Because I have to
The
think about this.
Cybertruck?
A
Absolutely
McLaren.
not.
Well, no, hold on a second, because this was actually going to be mine, but you spoiled it.
Oh.
I'm going to go around and suck up all the Cybertrucks.
And get rid of them.
Yeah, because once you suck it up, you can spit it out
That's
later.
true.
And just like fly over the ocean and just like spit them out. And then keep
That
doing
is
that.
true. You also get his little float. Whoop.
The float, yeah, the whoop. Yep.
Yeah, and say down with Nazi cars.
Yeah. Just
So-
keep spitting them into the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Larissa, is that all that you're going to do with his powers? Is just
Turn into
Suck
a
up
car.
cars.
cars?
Well, I'm also trying to think of what car I would be. I wouldn't do him. I would literally like turn into a Kirby car.
Okay.
I think
So I can
if
live
you
my
sucked up a
car's
slug
fantasy,
bug, maybe.
you know?
Like a slug bug.
Oh, that'd be fun. But I was
Because
also
it'd be cute.
right, but I was also thinking of like how do I combine like what's the card that's the equivalent of Shadowmere in Skyrim where I can go anywhere and like climb up the side of a cliff with no
Oh,
problem.
like a giant like all-terrain vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't know. We saw those in that documentary last
We
night.
did.
Tank? I don't know.
A
Yeah,
tank?
right.
Yeah, you could swap with a tank. That'd be
Kirby
cool.
tank. That'd be really fun.
Kirby military tank.
Tank B.
Kirby's owned by the U.S. military.
Exactly. No. No, I am some psychotic person's personal military Kirby tank.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're being paid by somebody else. Mine,
Okay.
on the other hand,
Yeah, what would
Um,
you do, Sam?
I like the idea that it's not always when he sucks something in that he automatically turns into it. He does have the capability, but he also just gains abilities of things
Yeah.
he absorbs. I think I would absorb like a supercomputer
Ooh.
for knowledge,
Okay.
Okay.
enough to like gain information of maybe I want to learn a new trait or something, and then once I'm done, I can spit it out if I want to pick up something new. You know,
Tradesies.
I think it'd be a good way to try new foods
Oh.
because I just suck them all in. Like, okay, I'm gonna try all these different ones, see which one it tastes the best. Definitely the floating. I would get up as like high as I can on a building and just float, and see how long I can float. And then once I'm done, just brick all the way down.
Like safely, but that
Yep.
rush.
Because
Okay.
I'm
I
fine
like
once
it.
I'm a brick. I'm safe.
Yeah, then turn
Well,
into a
until
feather.
you hit someone, I guess, underneath.
I do wonder what, like, if I'm the same size as me as opposed to Kirby. I don't know how actual size Kirby is. I think maybe like 2 feet tall, maybe
Yeah.
like 2 feet wide or something, like a ball. But I think if Sam-sized brick came crashing down to Earth from the top of the Empire State Building or something, or like the Burj Khalifa or whatever it is in Dubai, I think I might kill people. Like
You would.
Absolutely.
a lot.
You
I
would
think
like shatter
I'd probably
the
wipe
ground.
a city. Yeah.
Yes.
I
You would
watched
cause
simulations.
structural damage.
Oh no, absolutely. Because I watched those simulations online where they're like, "Hey, what would this do to the Earth if it traveled at like meteor speeds into the Earth or whatever?" And I think if something big enough would do some serious damage.
Absolutely.
Because I think I'm hitting higher than terminal velocity at some point
Yeah,
once I
probably.
turn into a brick. I don't know the physics behind it. Yeah, float, eat, supercomputer. I'm
Learn.
trying to think of something else that would be fun. The car, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Maybe a boat. Boat Kirby.
Boat Kirby.
Burby?
No, but then you could be Bodie McBoatface. Bring back Bodie
I could be
McBoatface.
Bodie McBoatface. Definitely like a fighter jet. I
That
don't know
would
if
be
I
crazy.
could
That'd be really cool.
and fly around as Kirby fighter jet.
I'm just imagining a pink fighter jet going around and it makes me happy.
Big eyes on the front. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go into our last scenario.
Okay, I'm excited.
Imagine if you suddenly woke up and took the place of Bella in Twilight.
Oh.
What would you do?
I'd be like, where have I been, Loka? Wait, which Bella? So I watched these
The
movies
main
like 2 or
character.
3 years ago. I know. But I'm
Let's
saying
go
like
with Vampire Bella.
Vampire Bella.
Oh, I just was like any Bella, I guess.
I'm hoping Vampire Bella because she has abilities.
Well, you can choose that scenario. I'll let
Okay.
you choose this Bella scenario because I think when I wrote it, I was just like the first one. But you can choose whichever. I haven't seen the whole thing, so whichever
Spoiler.
Bella floats your boat, you can choose.
Spoilers,
going-
she turns
Woke up
into a
and you're-
vampire. so,
Okay.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Because
first
regular
of
Bella
all.
is just a loser.
Just
She's just a high
Yeah.
schooler.
No, okay. You can choose whichever Bella, and that you just suddenly woke up one day and you're there, and you're her. You're her.
First thing I'm doing is taking the baby, Renesmee, and dropping it off in an adoption center. Or a foster home. Get that thing out of there. It's horrible looking. Second, I'm gonna run through the woods like they do, and then go play baseball with them because that's what they do in the movies. That's what I'm trying to remember. I would try to like run across water, see if I could do that.
You definitely can
because they run so fast. Apparently.
So if you're a vampire, Bella, you'd pretty much just try to take advantage of all the powers that she can get as a vampire. Yeah.
I would figure out a way to take advantage of it in a financial sense as well. I know that's like what I've seen to have been doing in all of my scenarios.
It's true.
Pretty much.
But I'm just trying to think like, okay, I've been given this advantage in life that it seems nobody else has. Kirby abilities, Goku ability, whatever.
But you're transported into their world.
Into their world?
Well, yeah, you woke up and you're like, instead of Bella, Bella, you're now the new Bella.
Okay.
So you're Sam. But if Bella got turned into a vampire, now you're vampire Sam. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's basically replace that character now with you.
Gotcha. I'm leaving Forks. Going to a new city. I can pretty much go wherever I want, it sounds like. I probably have the speed to run across the ocean too, at least across the Bering Strait to get into another landmass, if not across the Atlantic Ocean to get to Europe. And I'm just going to travel the world. I think that'd be very fun. I mean, it sounds like I have eternity, and then at some point I'm going to end it because I'm like, I can't keep doing this forever.
Right.
Have fun for a little bit, and then...
Yeah, absolutely. I'd probably jump in a volcano. I think that'd be the coolest way.
That'd
probably take me out, I think. I hope that would take me out.
Larissa, you woke up suddenly and you took the place of Bella in Twilight. What would you do?
So I feel like I would also want to be a vampire at this point too, because that's just way more fun. Okay. But fun fact, because I did read all the books and I was a little bit of a Twilight nerd, when you're a new vampire, your abilities are heightened even more than like a regular vampire.
Okay.
So
it's the honeymoon phase.
Exactly. And I just wanted to point that out.
Honeymoon phase?
But yeah, no. I feel like, okay, in this scenario, imagining everyone else still likes me in the Cullen family, right? Like, they're not kicking me out for killing Bella.
Yeah.
Because Edward would have real problems with me. He'd think I'd murdered Bella. Absolutely, he would.
I think it's like, they would think, like, all their memories would be replaced of you.
Yeah, that's what I was
assuming. You're just substituting.
Okay.
It's like whoop, like trading spaces almost. Okay. Like you just swap places.
Does that mean she's in our world now, Bella?
Uh-oh.
So Edward Cullen loves me. You know what? I feel like, and I think this is a big theory for a lot of people, is that once Bella turns into a vampire, she realizes that she actually doesn't really care about Edward in the way she did when she was a human. Like, she was almost kind of under her spell. Because it alludes that vampires in that universe kind of naturally give off this, like, essence to humans where they're like, yeah, you love me, sort of a thing. Like, it's almost like an enchantment spell, if you think.
Okay.
So I would finally wake up and be like, Edward, you creep. You stalked me for the first 4 years of our relationship. Maybe, I don't know, were they together for a year? Was it just 1 year?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Sorry, like, I'm not that deep in the lore. Right. I don't know.
I think it was 1 year. She transferred like her junior year, I think, which is crazy to think about. I would divorce his ass immediately.
Throw the baby somewhere.
Yeah, throw the baby somewhere. But I wouldn't throw her in an adoption center because that's going to be real sus when she turns into an adult in 6 months. They're going to be like, what's going on here?
The baby.
Right. Like, the whole point of Renesmee is that she turns into an adult in like 6 months.
Oh, throw her in a volcano too. She's creepy looking. She scares me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to question that as far as like just the ethics of it all is like, he doesn't age. No. So essentially he's like, what, 19, 18, 17 forever, whatever.
You're frozen.
I guess if you're a 17-year-old forever. I mean, because he was changed back in like, what, 1700s? Something like that? You learned?
They say specifically during the Spanish flu.
That's 1912, I think?
Yeah.
1915? Right?
Okay, so at this point, he's at least over 100 years old. He's lived that long. He probably has gained the maturity of 100-something-year-old. You would hope. I'm saying, like, just in general, like, in real-world aspects. If I lived for 100 years, I would gain the maturity.
They're stuck at that mental mentality at the age when they are turned. Like, I'm
I'm
pretty
just trying to think of, like, obviously you have to keep transferring schools, you have to keep changing cities, all that stuff. That would be annoying. I'd probably just want to live out in the middle of nowhere, like, kind of like they do, and just not go to school.
Yeah, I would
When you
not
get
keep
lonely
going
after
to
a while, you'd probably
school.
want to turn somebody into a vampire. You'd have to keep turning people into vampires, I think. Because
Mm-hmm.
after a while, you're gonna, like, oh, yeah, I don't know, like, been with you for 600 years, like, we've done everything. We've ran across water 1,000 times already. Let's go
You
turn
need
someone else
new
into
people.
vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just
Okay.
keep making vampires.
So it sounds like you want to make your own Volturi and make your own vampire mafia.
No. I'm going to turn the world into vampires, I think. The whole world. Because then we can't be stopped.
It's fair.
That's fair. Okay.
All right. Anything else to add to this one?
I feel like I didn't get to say anything.
Oh,
about
no,
what I
there's
wanted
a
to do.
lot.
I would break up with Edward and take Renesmee out of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I just wanted to make sure that I would go very hardcore solo vampire. Like, forget these call-ins. Let's just go out and have my wild time as a young newborn vampire. Take full use of those abilities instead of staying home and being mommy Bella for 6 months.
Mommy Bella.
That's fair. I mean, yeah. Does she ever take advantage of her new powers or not really?
Not really, no.
Oh. Yeah, so that's a better choice than right there. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed this Imagine If scenarios and what would you do if you were doing those things. It was fun to write them. It was kind of hard because I was trying to think of different categories for like different genres, like anime, movies, TV show, people, or video games. So I was like just trying to think of so many. I had two of them we didn't get to, but we ran out of time, so that's all right.
What were they? Just real quick.
Real quick, the ones we did not get to was imagine if you bumped into Eren Yeager at the grocery store. What would you do?
Murder him.
And listeners, you can respond to these ones. How about this? These are the listener ones. So you guys can tag us in social media and tell us what would you do in these scenarios. So yes, listeners, imagine if you bumped into Eren Yeager at the grocery store. What would you do? And our second one was imagine if you were trapped in a room with Jason, Freddy, and Ghostface. What would you do?
Cry.
So those listeners, you can tag us anywhere on our social media platforms. We are available on, what was it, Blue Sky and
Reddit.
There we go. I'm trying to remember because I haven't
we got to update the link
posted
tree.
in a bit. Okay. So tag us there if you would like to participate in this little game as well. We'd love to read your answers. And then you can follow us individually, me at Spiffy Steffi, Sam at Sir Captain Sam, and Larissa at Larissa.Schaefer. Thank you guys so much for listening on Spotify, on iTunes, right? And then Apple Podcasts, I guess that's the other one.
For the same thing,
The same thing, but yes. And then also on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you next Thursday for a new episode. Bye!
Bye! Bye!